I'm excited. The guys have worked hard, and this is what all of them signed up for, is to go compete in front of fans that they love and that hopefully love them at the end of the day, and see how it turns out when the games really count. So I'm excited for our guys. I'm excited for the organization. I'm excited for the fans to get a chance to see how hard our guys have been working. And for me, at the end of the day, it's about competing. And we want to win games, but I want to be able to walk away saying we competed for as close to 48 minutes as possible. And if we do that, then I'll even be more excited.
You feel like your team is at a good spot at this point with training camp wrapping up and the season starting?
I feel it is. Obviously, as a coach, I love practice. But I got to respect the players, because the players they tried to give me everything they could during practice, and they deserve to play some games that count. So I have to take a back seat to my wants of wanting to practice more and go enjoy the game. But again, I like what they've brought to the table so far.
Mike, where are we at with Keegan and Kevin? Or any chance if one or both play tomorrow?
With Kevin, he went through a whole practice today. He went through the non-contact and the contact portion, so he should be fine. Keegan is still in protocol, but he's getting better.
I'm sure you guys are searching for not good but great shots, but part of being a really high-paced offense that sometimes you're just going to have good shots early in the shot clock?
Yeah, I told all our guys, I've taken a lot from Steve Kerr, and one of the things he always tells his guys is, hey, I want to play fast, I want to play loose, but disciplined. And I truly believe that can happen. And so with the shooters that we have on this team, with the guys' ability to pass the basketball they do, and the speed of Fox and Davion, I mean, if you open, let that thing fly. We got confidence in you. Let it fly and knock it down, and let's go play some defense.
And then throughout the course of the years, there's been a lot of change, it seems, maybe just around the narrative of mid-range jumpers. I'm curious what your philosophy is on mid-ranges.
We like to get layups. We like to get catch and shoot threes, especially off of a paint touch, because a paint touch is one of our key staples. Same with ball reversals. But you got guys that can go get it. Trust me, we didn't tell Steph, don't take that mid-range shot. We didn't, even a guy like Andrew Wiggins, that's what he does. And so sometimes you have certain guys that you got to give confidence to. And it's not about taking the shot, but knowing when to take the shot, or knowing how to take the shot. And so it ain't going to be for everybody. I don't want KZ going between the legs 3 times, then behind the back and shoot a contested pull-up. But, Foxy got a little bit more leash than KZ.
Mike, what are just the concerns that maybe still exist with you? What are just some of the concerns from preseason training camp that kind of linger into the season from you, or maybe those unanswerable questions?
Well, what it's going to look like live, because I said this before, you always, when you don't know a team, when you haven't been around a team, you always question or wonder how competitive the group can be, especially under pressure. And pick up is one thing, training camp is another, the coach is involved, a preseason game is another, regular season game is another, playoffs is another, and the finals is so seeing who can handle the adversity that you're going to have to face when it counts is a question right now that's unanswered. And part of that adversity is, are you playing as much as you think you are? Can you compete when it gets hard out there? Because, guys played hard in the preseason, but our opponents are going to play even harder than what they did in the regular season than what they did in the preseason. So all those little things that you really can't measure until you get some games under your belt are what I'm concerned with. Not necessarily the X's and O's, because still early, we may have some mishaps here, mishaps there, but we'll figure those out because our guys are locked in. They got a great feel, and they're hungry enough to take care of the mishaps as times go on. Just the stuff that you can't really track with a stat column.
Mike,
obviously
question.
every team wants to make the playoffs, but given what this fan base has been through and given the drought, do you think about the potential of how special that might be for the city if you guys were able to end the drought?
Well, the reality of it is, I mean, that's what we're here to do. I mean, we love the fans. We do, and they're great fans. But even if the fans didn't feel like we need to make the playoffs, I'm not here to coach regular season games. It's just as simple as that. Having said all that, we have Portland tomorrow, and we're not, I'll answer that because I know the fans and the media are curious about it, but that's not my focus right now. If we do what we need to do, this thing is a journey. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. If we do what we need to do to get better, we'll take a few steps back every once in a while. All that stuff, I truly believe, will take care of itself at the end of the day. So our focus right now is on Portland and Portland only.
Mike, to follow up on that, is there, how much of a sense of urgency is there knowing that these games in the first week of the season might matter just as much as the games in the last week of the season do in the standings?
There's always a sense of urgency, and not just with the games, a sense of urgency in practice too. And what I mean by that is, we've had a good preseason. Guys have worked their tail off. Because we have 2 or 3 days before our first game, we can't come in here and coast or float or relax. We got to get after it. We got to push each other every time we step on the floor. And so to me, you do that with each other, it's going to have carryover in the game. And again, it all works itself out because of that. So that sense of urgency is huge in the game of basketball. Hopefully you don't have to preach it all the time because that's what the norm is within your culture or within the organization.
All right, Kevin.